He's done everything right so far as he goes out wide, and that kick's not a good one. I put the pokes on him, but he takes the handball back, runs the triangle perfectly. A long handball, looking for Craig on the corner of the square. Waits, looks, and runs a wide arc. Booms the ball down towards the half-forward spot. Bonberto at the back. Can't do much. Now recovers well. Highwood in over the top of the ball. Smothers the ball there and forces a bounce on Norwood's half-forward line. Score 8-9. Glenelg 4-3, 1 minute gone, third term.
Carey, Colasanti with strength, is free kicked. And with the breeze behind him, we'll put it right in the square, I would imagine. There's the kick from Colasanti, a beautiful kick in towards goal, but the accuracy not quite there. First score on the board this term going to the Redlegs, 8-10, the Bay 4-3.
And many fans will remember Hugo Colasanti's introduction to the final round of 78 with a tremendous mark in the goal square, and as a result kicked a goal from there. Here's the short kick, finds Johnston. He goes across to centre wing, looking for centreman Paul Weston, can't take it. The handball's on to Bradley, running at centre wing very well. He's long for Phyllis, a bit of nudging going on. Ian Stasnowski makes sure things are seen, and on the last line of defence will relieve the attack, break up that attack from the Tigers that looked pretty good until it reached that line. Fred Phillis has only kicked one goal, hasn't had many touches today because of the pressure of this man as he kicks towards centre wing. Hodgman, the back, Phillis, slam forward, Corns. They've been at one another most of the day, down towards the half-forward line. Button, in trouble. Two Tigers after him, dumped. Craig, after copping, weaves, goes short, perfectly smothered by Wynn. Craig gets the crumbs, out towards Curley. He's got to wait, and that's fatal. Trying to slap it on is Mike Farquhar. Taken away by Curley. That's the second bounce. Goes for 3. Could go for 4. Does that. He's at centre wing. Draws the wingman. Over it goes to Rosser. He's got time to look and puts the ball across the half-forward line. An intelligent kick finds Noonan.
Noonan straight on with the job. Towards the flank. Gallagher is there. Onto the left boot. He steadies. Shoots in towards goal. And is offline for a point only, so Norwood peppering away, but not getting the majors. 8-11, Glenelg 4-3.
Reminiscent of the first quarter when we saw Curley and Jenkins springboarding the attacks from the half-back line. Curley was the runner, together with Craig, pushing the ball forward, even reaching the half-forward line.
It's the kick now from Corwell. From grandstand flank. Corns at the back, Phyllis in front of him, Noonan to ground. Noonan free kicked, 15 metres.
Frustration sneaking into the Bay following team then. Graham Corns realising the error, chucked him down and lost 15 metres. Now he's tucked in death pocket.
With both of these sides viewing yesterday's match, I would imagine that neither would like to play Port Adelaide next week. One will have to. At the moment are playing as though they will not be the ones. Noonan's kick for goal. It's a beautiful kick off the boot in that pocket. A very difficult pocket to score. Straight through the middle. And what a confidence goal that is to the Redlegs.
Yes, that's a lifting goal. I can remember Mark Wiedemann, as a matter of fact, kicking a goal from that position against the breeze with a heavy wet ball. This time it's done by Michael Noonan for his second goal. Has steered it straight through the centre. What a valuable goal. His first, his second. Norwood 9-11, Glenelg 4-3.
Centre bounce. Button and Carey. Button up high. Phyllis taps it on towards half forward, giving Armour the run. Taps it intelligently to Woodcock. Woodcock the handball to the runner in Gallagher. As Gallagher sets sail towards goal. Is this the quick answer? Great goal, Phil Gallagher.
Well, that shows the skill of the Norwood side. Almost a slap in the face. There's an answer, a quick answer in goal. The handball perfect to Gallagher running, and the skill of this man as he pops it onto the left boot shows the confidence of the wingman. Put it up high, straight through the centre. That was his first, Norwood's 10th. 10-11, Glenelg 5-3, 7 minutes gone, third term.
John Wynn receiving instructions from coach Bob Hammond as we go for the centre bounce. Button and Carey again. And it's Button this time to half forward. Noonan gets a shocking bounce. So does Jim LaHoo. Chris Herco's okay. Johnston it was, tackled very quickly. This is Adamson. Flicks a left footer back towards goal. And a magnificent goal to Brian Adamson, and Norwood steamrolling at the moment. Third goal to Adamson.
A perfect goal, and in the last few moments Norwood have come alive, as if that goal from Glenelg stung them into some action. One goal from Gallagher, and then Brian Adamson coming away from his half-forward line onto the left boot and booms one straight through the centre. 3 goals to the ex-Western Australian, now red leg half-forward, and Norwood 11-11, 77. Glenelg 5 goals, 3, 33 at the 8-minute mark of the 3rd term.
Centre bounce. Not a good bounce, and Taylor has to do the work. Craig overruns it. Taylor back on it. Has Nicholson running support. He's been enormous strength all day. Cleverly tapped back to Craig by Phyllis. They're on the rampage again, except Gallagher gets a bad bounce. Craig runs round. Always someone backing up to help. Not a good kick by Craig. 4 up, Noonan down. Gee, he's been valuable as he goes to half-forward. Dillon, can he get a good bounce? Tries to tap it back to Adamson, which was the right idea. Pushed forward towards Hugo, surrounded by Bay players. Taps it high in the air towards Adamson it was, but in the end it'll be Johnston who comes away for the Bays with a short kick into this breeze. Weston and Taylor win. Corn scouting. Gets a kick to centre wing, but Jenkins has won his position all day.
What a convincing winner he's been too on his half-back flank. He's at centre wing. He's sprungboard many attacks as he goes down into the forward pocket, as a matter of fact. Under there is Dillon, tries with a one-hander, can't do it, and tap. 11-77, 44-point break over the Bay at the moment, who are 5-3. Colasanti, front spot, but tapped back by Herco. Corn's in trouble, straight to Gallagher. Woodcock's loose across half-forward. Highwood interferes with him. Stephen can't believe it. And Woodcock should not have any trouble at all with the distance, and shouldn't really with the accuracy. He's right in front, but one doesn't know what tricks that breeze is playing down there. One wonders too, an umpire in a difficult position then. It was a frontal attack. The spoil obviously was there. It was too low, hit the arm, resultant free, resultant kick. Oh, that looks straight too. Roger Woodcock's planted another one through. That's his second.
Norwood 12-11, 83. The Bays 50 points behind. 5-3, 33 on 7s. Big replay.
You can imagine too what Bob Hammond's instructions were for this 3rd term. Kicking with the breeze, kick long, and that's just what they've done. Kicked well to position, and as a result have piled on 4 goals. 12-11 Norwood, 5-3 the Tigers.
Centre bounce. Short kick. Corns through. It's on with Phyllis. That was like Monday night at Theberton Town Hall.
I don't know who won that one, but certainly they were thrown around willy-nilly, and the free's gone marker out, so he couldn't get at this player, and he gets on with the business straight away. The handball, that isn't too good, because Curley's under a lot of pressure now. He's got to come up. McInerney steals it away from him. In comes Stasser to help out. The busy rover, he's unloaded very swiftly, and it's Greg Nicholson that saves the day. Gets the handball over to Curley. He goes short, finds Craig on the half-back line, and Norwood out of trouble.
Neil Craig to centre wing. Towards Adamson, chipping in Highwood. Goes in towards the centre, or Taylor's there. Bradley can't complete the mark. Noonan through. Quick handball to Button. A high kick to half-forward. Colasanti at the back. 1-2 grabs. Hugo.
What a valuable asset this man has been. He spent some time on the bench. Obviously, Coach Bob Hammond had a few words of friendly advice to him. Remembering that mark in the goal square early in the 1st term. A tremendous one-hander. He kicked a goal from there. Here's another mark from this man. He's already got himself 1 goal. Is this his second? No. 1-1 to Hugo. And Norwood seem to go along, levelling up the numbers on the board. 12-12, 84, 6-3, 39, Glenelg.
Caldwell, short to Holst. He's been relatively quiet. Bays have had the pressure on them right from the word go. There's the kick. Carey sets himself. It's thumped forward, however. Johnston to Corns. Jenkins has reigned supreme all day. Marker has been in real strife against him. And again, almost arrogantly runs round the man on the mark to half forward. Noonan scouting. Shoots out the handball at Dillon. Dillon looks for someone going past, sees Woodcock, runs into all sorts of bother. Out to Hugo Colasanti. He traps it cleverly back towards Armour. Armour's in trouble, can't pick up the ball, and eventually it's Herco who pushes it out. Socket off the ground. Could be in danger. A free kick has been picked up. Steve Highwood thought it was going to go against him, so went over to try and pacify the umpire, but it wasn't necessary, Steve. It's going to Jim LaHoo.
The kick down towards the half-back line. Lurking, Taylor, Weston. Taylor, the receiver, at the back of the pack. He's under some pressure, though. The handball quickly out. Noonan's at the bottom of the pack, grabbed illegally. Highwood says no, umpire says yes, and Michael Noonan kicks from centre wing. Diminutive Rover, what a fine display he's put on, especially with the possession and the hard ball in the packs and sweeping those handballs out. Here's the screw punt. Carey against Adamson. Crunching his way out, Wynn to Button. Button high and long to the square. Colasanti, the sandwich in the middle, tapped forward. Rosser, Johnston. One bounce, ball a hurried left footer to the half forward line. Danny Jenkins roaming down towards the half forward line, tries to keep it in, can't do so, throw in. Score 12-12 the Redlegs, Tigers 6-3 at the 17-minute mark, third term.
Carey and Button. Wynn at the back. It's Wynn who wins the tap. Call. Out on the full, and the Bays starting to wonder whether they can do anything right at all.
Here's Graham Corns having a horror stretch this term. Lost the fights, lost the frees, now kicks one accidentally out on the fullers. Rosser sends one to the square. Colasanti, valiant effort to mark, can't do so. Adamson comes in to help. He comes round onto the left boot. Can he angle it around enough? No. Minor score. And 13 points now to the Redlegs. 25 shots to 9 is indicative of how the game has gone all day so far. 12-13, 85 to Norwood. 6-3, 39 Glenelg.
Eventually for being held whilst not in possession. Adamson. To half forward. Caldwell up. Or leaves Wynn at the bottom, and also Noonan steadies, goes in towards goal, and is offline a point only.
Sin of a back man, everybody flying. Two Norwood players left at the back. Set up for Michael Noonan, but didn't take full advantage of it. Only scored a minor. It's the 14th now to the Redlegs. 12-14, Glenelg 6-3. There he is, 32. What a great game he's played. He's out-roved, as a matter of fact, together with Terry Von Berto, the Tiger pair, although Hodgman has been getting lots of kicks. They've been mainly in defence. And it's going to be Caldwell. He goes short, forced to go short. The lead's on, Chris Herco. Noonan trying to pinch a couple of yards, called back, out wide, Bradley. Over the line it goes. No luck for the Tigers at all, not directing their kicks or passes at all well, and it's out just in front of the scoreboard, which shows 12-14 Norwood, 6-3 Glenelg at the 23-minute mark, third term.
Button and Herco. Herco over the back. McInerney tries to thump it on. LaHoo and Gallagher take it towards the boundary line, and we'll see another throw-in. Main scorers in this match, Adamson has 3 for Norwood and Woodcock 2. And all ones for the Bays. It's the throw-in. Wynn at the back. Taylor in the middle. Short kick forward taken by Highwood towards the centre, but Hugo is there. Hodgman couldn't quite get there in time. Craig through to Nicholson. A left foot kick to the half forward line. Stack of Bay players there. Carey spills it, but recovers. A short kick, and Herco. He's also in bother. The Bays not looking at all tidy at the moment. Colasanti.
There it is. He's the player that's been most effective. Gets the handball over to Taylor. Taylor across the half forward line. 2-1. Woodcock down. Johnston. After him, Dillon. That's his second bounce. He can have 3 if he wants them. Decides to go with the left boot. Stasnowski front spot. Keeps the ball in front of him. Does it well, but runs straight into Johnston. He's in strife. Farquhar's there. Rosser. He's bundled into Steve Highwood. Round comes Phillips. He's at centre wing. Weston. He's got nowhere to go to. And there's one of the players that stood in the way, Phyllis. He's got Craig. Short across the half-back line he goes. And a space to run into now. He'll be looking for Gallagher. Puts it out wide. Is that wise at all? No. Because in there is Weston. That's Herco. Oh, could have been holding the ball. Yes, it is, because the player had hold of him. Hodgman doesn't like it, but the decision is correct.
McVicker on, Farquhar off. As the kick towards Taylor in the centre. He can run on. Tried to kick his boot off on that occasion. Dillon almost gets it on the half volley. The handball to Rosser. Steadies. Shoots towards goal. And puts it through for a behind. Norwood 12-15. Glenelg 6-3.
The concentration time of each quarter, the last 5 minutes and the 5 minutes into time on, and Norwood now in that period may have kicked 2 or 3 points that could have been goals and sealed this game up. The Bays are not playing well, not handling the ball surely or in any way positively, and as a result the ball's being kept in the forward zones, but Norwood aren't kicking straight enough. Caldwell. Cheeky Danny Jenkins going for the fly against Colasanti and McVicker. Can't do it. Phyllis taps it out. Jenkins at half forward. He's playing on the half-back flank. Bangs one towards goals. And that's a typical half-back flanker's kick. Out of bounds on the full. And Neville Caldwell to kick in.
Norwood an 8-goal break at the moment.
Yes, the runner straight out to Danny Jenkins, telling him to get on to Carey. Gives him away about 2 feet in height.
Here's Caldwell. A difficult job he has because there's not a lot to kick to. He kicks into the man on the mark, taken by Woodcock, across to Craig. Craig steadies, shoots in towards goal, and Norwood on that occasion doing it well.
What an arrogant goal that was too. The ball smothered as it was kicked. Over it goes, the handball on Craig. And Craig, supremely confident, chipped the ball straight through the centre, and that's his first. And Norwood now, that's better, 13-15. The Bay struggling, 6 goals, 3, 1 minute of time on, in the third term gone, and Norwood reigning supreme at the moment.
Back for the centre bounce. Glenelg runner working overtime as Norwood continue its centenary celebrations. Hodgman to half forward. All Norwood. John Wynn. So kick to half forward. The back is Lahoo. Puts the ball out for Johnston to run, but he's hardly going to get the chance with Rosser there as well, who pushes it towards the boundary line. And another throw-in to take place.
Noticeable too that whenever now the ball falls, there are 2 Norwood players to the Bays 1. The Bays have stacked their back lines, and one wonders what goes through coach John Nichols' mind at the moment. He'd be desperately trying to lift his side, and without much success at the moment. Here's Hodgman with the left boot down towards centre wing. Copping, making the mark in front of the eyes. Wants to get on with the business. Straight away to the half-forward line. Herco's the player lurking at the back. Stasinowski flattens the pack. Over comes the handball. Greg Nicholson down towards the half-forward line. It's all the Bays. Corns has a quick look down towards centre wing. Here are the odds, 2-1 again. Over the top, cheeky Jenny Jenkins has taken another fine mark. He's reigned supreme on his half-back flank.
Rosser off, Palm on. It's an interesting one. Glenn Rosser appears to have a slight limp. Lomberto at half forward. 2.5 minute mark of time on. Dillon is out on a long lead and marks quite comfortably.
Notice too a lot of Bay players walking with their heads down. But, quite often is a sign their thinking isn't right. Rover Kim Hodgman, you don't often see that from him. Johnston, Lahoo, Highwood, Twiggy Caldwell, all players with eyes to the ground as Ross Dillon now prepares to kick from the half-forward position. Screw punt. Carries far enough. No. Tap forward. Corns the receiver. Forced to go short. Kim Hodgman in the back pocket. Time ticking away. As if he wants to play on. Does so. Goes very short. David Holst. Long handball. Johnston. Back to Dave Holst. There's no one to kick to, so he decides to run with the ball with one bounce. Woodcock guarding superbly. Flusters him, steals it, taps it forward. Great football then from Roger Woodcock. In comes Gallagher. Left foot, superb pass, Brian Adamson. running perfectly, tucked away into the pocket, has a chance to strike again for the Redlegs.
What a superb effort by Woodcock on that occasion. Adamson now in a difficult position to score a goal. Puts it across the face, and again Corns waiting at the back. Uses Hodgman for support. His handball is putting him under pressure. All sorts of pressure, and a bounce to take place on the Norwood half-forward line.
Example there, two rovers. Noonan, Von Berto against Hodgman. Here's the bounce. Button, McVicker. Tap forward, Von Berto. Comes through about 4 players onto the left boot. It's not straight. That's another point as the siren goes to end the third term, and it's a good one for the Redlegs. 13 goals, 15. Should be 13 goals, 16, 94. Glenelg, 6 goals, 3, 39. Top action on Channel 7 Sunday replay.
9 goals, 1. They come home with the breeze, but they certainly have the job ahead of them as Von Berto across to Craig. Norwood have had a team working as a team all day today. Run, 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 and chase, chase, chase. As Adamson goes into the pocket, a difficult ball to mark. Palm does it beautifully.
Satisfied just to carry the ball the extra couple of metres to see whether he'd been checked. He would have been off if he wasn't. This will be a psychological goal for the Redlegs if they can score this and really put some nails into the Bay box. The full forward pocket, drift ones across to the square. Dillon was the flyer. Highwood, Noonan, superior pace. Woodcock there also to help him, trying to get out underneath the legs as Noonan. He can't do so. Holding the ball, says umpire Bob Schofield. Legs have reigned supreme. Absolute confidence, beautiful attack on the ball all day, have bustled the Bays off their game.
Stazanowski in 2 minds. Eventually does go short, has Button and Gallagher. Button the protector. Gallagher tucked in the back pocket. It's towards the half-back line. Craig, front spot. What a luxury to play Neil Craig on the half-back line.
Yes, and hasn't he done it well too? Danny Jenkins and Craig have done absolutely everything asked of them across that line of defence. The kick is held up by the breeze and drops like a rock. Brian Adamson was there. The receiver is Hodgman. He bangs one to the goal square. That carries across the face of goals, though, and it's another minor score, and that's the 5th to the Tigers now. 6-5-41, Norwood 13-16-94. Hodgman has been one of the players that just hasn't given up, but he's been frustrated because he's had to play in defence for at least 2 quarters of the game.
Stephen Curley to bring the ball back into play. Into the grandstand flank. Button.
Yes, his opposition, Sandy, now has fallen down, seeing Carey's at full forward. The tallest player they can put against him will be Herco or Corns. Here's Johnston, takes the mark at centre wing. A bit of a scuffle, nothing much in that. Friendly push to make sure he goes back the right way. And he'll kick to the half-forward line. Button, Carey. No one can mark. Craig taps down. McInerney taps it out into the space. Here's Danny Jenkins, takes the handball over, looking for Greg Nicholson. The handball is defensive as it goes over the line, and I think we'll see plenty of this in this last quarter of an hour of this term, pushing the ball defensively out.
Phil Gallagher is in all sorts of bother. Could be an ankle. Might have copped one in the shins. Could even be cramped. There he is now. Gets the handball out. Still very effective. A high kick in the shadow. Taken by McVicker. He plays on quickly. The Bay's not doing a lot right at all. That one's out of bounds on the full.
Well done, one boot Palm.
Stazanowski again to bring the ball back into play. Short, Jenkins. Absolutely puzzled as to where to go. Eventually tracks right and finds Stephen Curley.
He's in the other back pocket, right on the shadow line. Into the shadows of the stand it goes, where we find Button and McVicker. Tap forward. Herco slams one across the half-forward line. He'll be looking for Weston. Not much success there because waiting is Danny Jenkins. Reigning supreme. Slams one out. Glenn Rosser. He goes short. John Gentleman, Jack Wynn with a sweeping handball. Looks for Greg Nicholson. Finds him. Right on the far wing it goes. Terry Von Berto. Short to the half-forward line. Roger Woodcock. Precision football by the Redlegs. Woodcock trying to get past Steve Highwood. Can't. He's guarded well. The left footer normally runs a very wide arc, puts it towards a very sore-looking Mike Taylor. He gets on with a handball to Win. Into the square, down towards full forward he goes. Palm pulls it over at the back. Pake. Gary Menzel almost takes his first touch in final football. Can't reach there. Over the line it goes. Throw in. Scoreboard. Norwood 13-16-94. Glenelg 7-6-48 for Ian Stasnowski to kick in. He certainly won't kick in short this time. He goes long to the shadows of the stand. We find Phyllis, McVicker, the back, Freddie Phyllis. Not much brotherly love there. In goes the boot. Over the top goes. Bit of pushing and shoving going on. The offender is copying the receiver, Phyllis.
And it's brother Fred. Hands it over and stands the mark. To centre wing. Bradley. Uncontested. To half forward. At the back, Nicholson. Towards Adamson. Not paid. Menzel. Play on is the call as David Holst receives it. Gets a kick under pressure across the half back line, straight across it. Lahoo. To half forward, Weston.
In the corner of the square. See what he does with this. Screw punt. Wobbles off the boot somewhat though. Corns, front spot. Slant away, Win. Danny Jenkins, the receiver, gets it over to Curley. Makes the rare mistake with the hands. Puts it to ground. Craig's there to support. Tucked in against the line. He's got plenty of time to look. There's a little bit of a kerfuffle in the forward pocket. A left and a right, I think. Neither one scored. And it's Stasnowski out wide, looking for Rosser. Hodgman after him. Chucks him down, and that could be worth 15 metres. Yes. Curley and Ugo Colasanti. A bit of ganging up there, but to no effect. And it will be Rosser from centre wing. He goes long. Adamson on the chest, half forward flank.
Crowd of 23,223 watching Norwood continue their centenary year assault on a premiership. Menzel shrugs one tackle but gets caught eventually. Noonan, a right foot kick in towards goal, and an outstanding goal by Mick Noonan.
Well done. Ross Dillon, the player, he'd done a lot of the work. Danny Menzel also, Gary Menzel also, but waiting in the wings, Noonan, time, a deliberate kick at goal. That was his third, and Norwood going their merry way now. 14 goals, 16. They've reached their century, 100 points. Glenelg, 7 goals, 850 at the 15-minute mark of the final term.
Centre bounce once again. Colasanti and McVicker as Bay fans start to stream out of Football Park. Menzel to Palm. Can't get out of that tackle. Menzel in again. Holst riding high. Frustration creeping into the Bay game now as Hodgman. Noonan rides him. Menzel through without the ball. McInerney with it but gets collared. Johnston. He was the last line of defence then. After him there was nothing left. Johnston gets caught himself. Chance now for a kick forward in towards the pocket. And how's this going to bounce? Dribbles over for a goal to the Redlegs. Well.
Well, can you really believe that a football that way can bounce for such a distance so slowly? No player could get at it. Rosser had seen his opportunity. The mistake was with the hands. I think it was Johnston that couldn't get at the ball. He saw Rosser speed away, popped it to the square and just dribbled over, and then Rosser has his first goal. Norwood 15 goals, 16, 106. Glenelg 7-8 at about the 17-minute mark of the final term.
Centre bounce is won by Colasanti. Von Berto to Craig. One would almost think that it was Norwood kicking with the breeze this quarter, but it's not. Noonan almost completes an incredible mark. Colasanti the long handball out. Johnston taps it back. Noonan legged and free kicked. What a game he's had. To co-rover Von Berto towards Woodcock and Dillon. Pake gets caught in the end. The ball goes over the line and a throw-in to take place. And a point to bounce once again. McVicker and Colasanti Won by McVicker, who taps it over the back, but taken by Taylor. Craig, Von Berto. High kick out wide towards the wing. Bradley taps it forward to Phyllis. Caught. Craig. Hodgman plays on, steadies, and should kick a goal with this kick. I put the mocker on him. It's a shocking kick, out of bounds in the right forward pocket, and it's just one of many with he's swapping with Pake. Curley. Short. Nicholson.
It's a cheeky kick in too, only a metre inside of the white line. A time-consuming kick though. That's what Norwood would be after at the moment. It's beginning to pace the game. Kick gun, this time it's over the line on the fall. It'll be taken by Paul Weston, centre player for the Tigers. He goes short, looking for Corns, over his head. In there is Taylor. Gets a hurried kick to his half-forward line. Johnston is there. Ryan Adamson after him. Oh, takes front spot cleverly too. Taps it, tries to get it up to him. Does so, is successful. Onto the right boot. Hooks it round the corner. He's looking for Dillon. Won't find him. Lahoo's there. He's well shepherded by a teammate and allows Jay Mahoo. Lahoo, plenty of time to get it Copping, corner of the square. Has Dave Palm coming at him. Bradley ducking and weaving. Back to Copping, through the centre of the square he goes with a drop punt down towards the half-forward line. It's all Norwood though, and Curley gets the heavy body of Carey coming at him, puts him to ground and 15 metres, and Stephen Curley does not look well.
Norwood 15-16, Glenelg 8-9. Perhaps a little bit of frustration as Neil Button prepares to complete the match on the sideline. Curley out wide to Von Berto. He's got a paddock to run in. Steadies and elects to go short, looking for Jenkins. Surrounded by Tigers. Phyllis. Weston. Beautifully stolen. Not a good kick. Straight to Hodgman.
Terry Von Berto, he saw the two Norwood players, and the ball with the wind swung it around, hooked it on the side of the boot, and now 15 metres against Craig. This is Neil Craig. Either didn't hear the whistle or didn't want to, and has conceded 15 metres to Rover, Kim Hodgman. He's been had a frustrating day today. Chips it up high, drifted. One flag or two, it's a single flag, and not often you see Kim Hodgman miss them.
No, he has not scored a goal to date, and that's very unusual for the Star Bay Rover. Nicholson to kick, and Farquhar warming up to complete the game. Corns high, can't complete it. Noonan scouting. Keeps the ball in play, shoots the handball out to Albie Menzel. Adamson. Out of bounds, Brian. Yes. Thought he got away with it, but the whistle has sounded, and we'll see a throw-in.
Ticking away now. 24 minutes gone, final term. Norwood 15-16, Glenelg 8-10.
Throw-in. Caldwell from the side. Stephen Copping there also involved in the ruck work, and we'll see a bounce once again. Convincing win coming up for the Redlegs. Bays have the awesome thought of tackling Port Adelaide next week. Actions at centre field with Von Berto, where a bounce will take place.
This will be an interesting clash of traditional rivals. Here's Pake, unopposed. Oh, taps it to himself, then out to follow a corn. Gary Menzel grabs him quick smart, grabs him too high, and the follower from the side of the square. Bob Hammond beginning to stroll the line now. Wants more scores on the board. Wants his players to pace it out for the most important clash next weekend against Port Adelaide as Twiggy Caldwell goes over to the half-back line. And again, here's Hodgman. Let's see what he can do with this one. 45, 50 metres out. Hasn't had much luck so far. Punt kick, oh, it's out of bounds on the full. And we'll see a kick in from Phillips. Wayne Phillips, this is. Been part of a most successful unit for Norwood today.
Short. Putting Armour under the hammer, socket off the ground, and back to Phillips, so he'll have another crack at it. To Stazanowski out on the opposite flank. It's too slow, Stazza, to get your kick, but he does get a short one in towards Menzel. Weaves his way into trouble and gets the handball out to Palm, who goes to Taylor. And Michael Taylor, who appeared to cop a nasty one on the hip, is running reasonably freely through centre to half forward. Dillon, front spot. Great mark.
What a clever position too. Saw the drop of the ball. DeBreeze holding it and dropping very quickly. Put the body in front, took the good mark. Let's see just what sort of an effect this breeze has as the cars begin to drift away from Football Park. A good day for the Redlegs and a shocking day for all Glenelg supporters. Short, John Wynn. On the edge of the shadow, about 40 metres out. Drop punt, not enough work on the ball to bring it back. As a matter of fact, it's out on the full, and we'll find James Lahoo to kick in.
Lahoo to the half-back line, has a lead from Bradley, ignores it, and goes towards Pake. Thumped away by Button, McInerney, Highwood. Short, but not short enough. Jenkins, quite content to see that ball sail over the boundary line. 106 points to Norwood and 58 to the Bays.
Coach Bob Hammond still urging his men to go in hard. Button versus Pake at the back. Caldwell down. Bradley in a tunnel drive. Two Norwood players pounce on him immediately. Dave Palm at the bottom. Terry Von Berto on the top. At the front, umpire Roger Magle. It's down. Menzel. Palm. This time the ball's out. And we'll see another throw in. They only made a couple of metres by that throw. Oh, no, it isn't. Player grabbed too high.
Free kick, David Palm. Centre wing. Short to Albie Menzel. Knocked away from him by Pete McInerney. Another throw in to develop. 3 minutes of time on played. Just about siren time. Glenelg will be glad to hear it. It's been hard for them all day as Palm accepts the handball shot out. Back to Noonan. Palm running the gauntlet. One bounce. Steadies. Fires in towards goal. And there's icing on the cake as far as David Palm is concerned and the Redlegs.
Perfect bit of running football then. The creator was Palm. He got the handball over to Noonan. Noonan, sensing that he was running perfectly, back to Dave Palm. Ran into the space, popped it up. It was accurate, straight through the centre. That's Dave Palm's first and Norwood 16th. 16-16. Seem to have run those numbers evenly all day. 112 points against Glenelg. 8 goals, 10, 58.
Norwood have had 11 players who have scored goals in this match. Centre bounce. Button. Urko. Noonan tackled high. Gets the handball away to Wynn. To half forward. Dillon and Adamson tackled high and will be free kicked. Not a need to worry about it. Brian Adamson, I don't think will take the kick because the siren has sounded. Ending this match at Football Park and a big victory to Norwood. 16-16, 112. Defeating a disappointing Glenelg. 8 goals, 10, 58 on 7's big replay.